Our building turns 100 years old this year. 8 years ago, we bought this old ice house for our small business, but it needed everything. So for 2 years, we worked to make this historic property habitable. After nearly a decade, Ryan and I have decided it's time to follow our dream of exploring Europe while we still can. Italy is our ideal home base. But before we can list the ice house for sale, there's a list of projects that still need to be completed. Up first is the last truly large project, the roof over the warehouse. With the Arizona summer just around the corner, it'll be a race to finish all the outside projects in time.
You see the top roof drains directly onto this roof. None of the step flashing is installed, which is part of the reason why we're seeing so many leaking issues. These shingles are completely shot. I mean, we probably should have replaced this years ago, but we wanted to address the insulation and the roofing all at one time.
Part of what made us fall in love with this building was the original exposed trusses. We couldn't hide them under insulation. After years of unbearable temperatures in this area, we finally devised a plan to keep the appearance we love by insulating from above using 5 inches of foam.
The roof line comes precariously close to the top of the masonry, so all of that needs to be brought up.
But first, we need to take care of this ugly sprinkler line. The sun killed it this summer, and this lone vine was the only survivor.
Trying to determine exactly where to put it. I think I'm going to take Melanie's suggestion and move it closer to the pot. Now I need to run the pecs across the room. And the fun thing about a scissor lift is they're super sturdy.
Okay, stop
They don't
that. Knock
rock
it
at
off.
all.
Keep coming. You're almost there. Oh, God. Oh.
Can you reach that at all?
Maybe. Do you want to go to the wall?
Yeah. I've pulled a little extra length and we'll leave it long over there. We'll put all the fittings together, put it through the wall, and then we'll pull it back.
Okay, come down here and grab my ladder, please.
If you can't tell, Mellie's not loving it. It turns out we didn't quite get it run across perfectly. We're snagged on a few lines that we'll need to pull it back and forth through. So I'm gonna cut this end. I'm gonna leave it a little bit long. We're gonna be tying into this 2-inch main line here, and there's an extra loops. So this is a little more than we need, which is good, just in case we screw up. For the far end of the irrigation line, when it goes through the wall, we can't have PEX outside. So we need to transition to copper. We've got the PEX run over to here. We're gonna add one of the expansion collars. There is one way to put them on. One side has a stop to it. So you wanna put it on there the right direction. They are tight, which is good. Okay, so we push it in till it stops. And we just bend it. And then all you do is you take your fitting, you push it in there all the way, and you're done. So I'm gonna try something here. We'll see if it's an epic failure. I ran a fish tape through that hole up there, and I'm gonna use a extension pole with a paint roller attachment to hook it and pull it down. That was pretty straightforward and simple. I'm gonna have Melanie run upstairs and pull on the fish tape, and we'll see if we can get this to work. Melanie is pulling the fish tape from the deck where we want it to be, and hopefully this will work. We'll see.
I think it just let go.
No, you're still connected.
Am I? I felt the plastic pop.
So we're gonna try to tape this on a little bit better so she can get a better pull on it. Go ahead and pull on it.
Okay. Am I pulling too hard?
No, you're doing good, honey. There we go.
Mostly. Oh, we're in.
Perfect. Okay. To tap into this line, I'm gonna take the insulation off. Okay. It does not want to cut through. So this T looks a little ridiculous. It's 2-inch, straight through with a 3/4 inch tap T out. So I can tap in here for my water line for my irrigation. I'm going to use this 2.5 inch cutter, which I think is just barely big enough. I drained this line to the best of my abilities, but there still could be water trapped in here. And if I cut at the top, it'll allow the air to come in and the rest of the water to go out if there was a vacuum. I'm gonna let that drain a little bit. Now that it drained a little bit, or a lot of it, we're gonna go ahead and trim this side back. So now, I'm gonna take this big mamma jamma, pull the tool out, and hopefully get the fitting lined up and in there before it starts to contract. It's fully inserted. That should work. I'm gonna go turn the well on really quickly and I'll be right back. Okay, let me just run up there and double check. Okay, so we hit it with about 65 PSI. No leaks yet.
Finally, it was time to get rid of the old sprinkler lines and run the security wire through the building.
I have all these security camera lines running over our roof, which is not ideal. We're gonna fix that as part of this whole project. But what we're gonna do is drill through this block work and then through the old gutter. Once I drill through here, I'll be able to secure the camera on the outside and run the wire from the inside up through here and out the wall. Be no visible wires outside anymore, which will be a much better security upgrade. Anytime you're doing security cameras, you should always make sure that the lines are not accessible so thieves can't just circumvent your security.
Ryan knew I wouldn't like the green fitting and painted it to match the copper plumbing. This tinfoil trick is awesome for masking odd shapes.
Traditionally, you use little wire caps and stuff, and it looks kind of hokey. We are going to use some heat shrink tubing. So you have to put the heat shrink tubing on there first. I'm going to have it over each of the lines individually, and then we're going to have a piece of heat shrink over everything to give it a nice clean look. So I kind of wrapped the stranded wire around the two solid wires. And then I'm going to use this tiny little connector. Okay, so this is a little fiddly to get it in here. So you get that kind of situated in there. Do this the way that I can see it this time. Crimp it down. And we have another nice solid connection that's not going to fall apart.
The heat shrink snugs up nicely with the help of a lighter or heat gun.
So one of our last steps here is to install the adapter. Put some of the sealant on there. I'm actually going to put these two pieces together before installing it. It has little caps on there, we can take those off and then connect our water line. Okay, now's the moment of truth. I'm going to open up my app and we'll see if this will work.
Thank you so much for watching our video. If you would like to go on this journey with us, please subscribe to our channel.